And recording.
All right. Do you know how many plastic bags last time you used when you went grocery shopping? Chances are you don't even pay attention. Just about any purchase you make will involve going home with a plastic bag in hand. And then what happens to those bags once you don't need them anymore? Statistics by the Business Source Complete database show that Americans produce 110 billion plastic bags per year, and only 2% of those are recycled. The rest accumulate as trash. It is important that we, as a society, stop using plastic grocery bags because they are often not recyclable, they have negative effects on the environment, and there's more eco-friendly alternatives. So you might be wondering, why are plastic grocery bags recyclable? They're just like any other plastic products out there, right? Well, while it's true that it is possible to break down and recycle plastic bags, most waste centers do not do this. Plastic bags are generally made out of a compound called low-density polyethylene, and it's used because it's lightweight and durable, but it has a different chemical composition than the type that is used in most water bottles and food containers. These products are usually made out of high-density polyethylene or polyethylene terephthalate, and the different types of plastics cannot be mixed together. So to easily identify which types of plastics are which, you can look at, all plastics will have these triangles with arrows on them and the different numbers. And the numbers indicate what that chemical compound in the plastic is. The plastic bottles and food containers are normally a 1 or a 2, whereas the common plastic bag falls under a number 4. The waste centers make money by recycling and refining these different plastics that they get, and then they sell them to other companies that will buy them. And plastics in that 1 and 2 category have the highest demand, so that's why they are recycled, while most other plastics then get thrown away. Besides there being a very low marketability for plastic bags, they're also a nuisance for recycling facilities, as they can get caught in the equipment and then end up costing more in damages than what it's worth to recycle them. So between the little profit and potential to lose money from equipment damage, plastic bags are sent straight to landfills, which in turn negatively affect our environment. Because plastic bags are not biodegradable, they accumulate rapidly in landfills. The U.S. National Park Service estimates that it takes one plastic bag anywhere from 10 to 20 years to decompose in our environment. And that's assuming that all the right elements are present for the decomposition process to take place. Unfortunately, in landfills, the trash is packed so tightly together that there's not enough oxygen and moisture in order to break down the garbage that's present. So these bags are just going to sit there and pile up. Any bags that are not tethered down through other garbage are at high risk to just blow away in the wind and then end up in our ecosystem, where they can then negatively affect our wildlife, in particular marine animals. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency found in a study that 61% of autopsied green sea turtles had plastic wrapped in their digestive tracts. In particular, plastic bags, because they're buoyant in the water and they resemble jellyfish, which is the sea turtle's main food source. Sea turtles are not the only species that are affected by ingesting plastic, as pretty much debris has been found in birds, fish, whales, sharks, seals. I mean, you name it, something's probably eaten it. Plastic also indirectly is consumed by wildlife because as it breaks down, it releases chemicals, one which is called bisphenol A, also known as BPA. Studies featured in National Geographic indicate that fish who are exposed to BPA not only produce fewer healthy offspring, but may also be putting us as consumers of seafood at risk for ingesting this toxic chemical that the fish have eaten. So while plastic bags are not solely responsible for ecological damages, it is one of the easiest and most unnecessary plastics that we can eliminate from the waste buildup that we have. The biggest source of plastic comes from when we go shopping. Nowadays, it's very common to walk into the grocery store and find them selling reusable bags made out of cloth or other materials. These bags are generally larger and more durable than a standard plastic bag, and they're very cheap considering the amount of use that you're going to get out of them. The California San Jose government estimates that one reusable bag can be used 600 or more times, easily replacing over 1 year's worth of plastic bags per individual per year. The largest concern against reusable bags is that there's a higher chance of cross-contamination between carrying food items such as meat or produce that could then cultivate an environment of bacteria in the bag and make you sick. This is a super easy fix. You just wash your bag or you wipe it out with some sort of disinfectant. And it's very little work considering the amount of plastic that will then be kept out of the environment. So now that we have discussed why it is important to stop using plastic grocery bags due to them being non-recyclable, the negative effects on the environment, and the more eco-friendly alternatives, I hope that you all think twice about using plastic and try to encourage your friends to do the same. And we may not be able to avoid using plastic altogether, but holding ourselves accountable for things that we can change will influence others and create a cleaner earth for ourselves and future generations. Thank you all for your time.